Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take another look here at ICP, see what's going on. Quick little update. It's been a few days since we covered this last, and I get a lot of requests for this from my community, of course. I totally understand why. So let's go ahead and jump in and kind of see where we're at. And if you are new to the channel, maybe you've been around for a while, deeply appreciate hitting that like button, commenting below, whatever the case is. Just help us get this in front of more people so they can stop getting destroyed by moon boys and all these other idiots that don't know what they're talking about. Not that I do per se, but 20 years of experience in traditional markets and now crypto, I can tell you there's some really good tactics that you can apply that are very beneficial. So I'm more of a conservative, little more on the safer side trader, and if you appreciate that, I love that. Thank you so much. All right, so ICP back in data, we're looking at liquidation levels to start, and this just kind of gives us understanding of where the incentive is for the market makers, where they want to push the price action next. We can also identify key level supports and resistances this way because those are liquidation is generally the effect of key level supports or resistance. So 750 even, we see a lot of liquidation here, about 50 million in liquidation, upwards about 770. So we've talked previously about 770 being that resistance range, and as we get closer to $8, we can expect more of the price pushing down or just holding the price in place. We're not there exactly because the price tapered off pretty significant with Bitcoin pulling back today, but that's something to recognize. We can also see here, again, $8 even, there's even more liquidation as well as 850 or 9. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of liquidation on the upside, but equally as much to the downside around that $5.50 to $6 mark. Now, thinking outside the box here just generally, it seems less likely for the price to go down than it does to go up, just based on the overall sense of how bottomed out ICP is for the moment. But we want to double check a few other things and kind of recognize where we're at here, because the truth is, price could absolutely pull back. But again, you can see this pretty solid amount of support here. The lowest the price action has closed minus one aggressive candle wick is this $6.80 mark. So to me, I think that's probably the tentative bottom, all right? And again, if we look at liquidation, there's a reason why there's a lot of liquidation below that range and not necessarily above it, because that's a key level support, all right? So anyways, just some of the kind of important stuff to recognize there. Let's go ahead and recognize also, too, that we just rejected out at the 20-day SMA with our first attempt to break it. Now, today's candle, the way that things are forming here today is a lot to do with Bitcoin, because in case you missed the boat or you don't understand, Bitcoin wicked way up to 61.4 and has pulled back ever since. We got a gravestone doji candle. Is not a good look for Bitcoin in the majority of the market. ICP is also performing similarly. So we got to recognize that. Okay, so similar behavior from ICP just implies there's a correlation, and that we want to respect the fact that Bitcoin is moving up or down at any given time, and just the connection between these two coins. It's not direct, it's definitely different, but it's still similar and synonymous with this pullback. Okay, so identifying that is important. We also want to look here at stochastic, potentially going to be swinging back down soon. That lets us know that we've lost some momentum, or we're hitting our tentative top. We can also see here as well with RSI, traditional RSI, still under 50. Until we break up above, there's really no reason to take a long position. That's going to hold true. I mean, the funny thing is the price could even be at $8 or higher, and we'd still be under 50 on the RSI, probably telling us it's still not a good sign. The key takeaway here to me is that being above the 20-day SMA would be a solid trend start, the start of this trend, and potentially showing us signs that we're switching gears. If I'm ever trading into the 20-day SMA, I'm extra careful. I use tight targets, and I just be careful. In this case here, though, we got MACD converging, so it's funny, right? We got a convergence here, but a stochastic divergence. What's the deal? Well, when you have those kind of, dissimilarities, it's important to recognize that maybe not the best conditions to trade. Okay, and I keep telling this to my community too. People want, some people want to force trades. A lot of times, I'm just there to talk you off the ledge. But the simple way to understand it here is that patience is paramount. Important things are forming, and we want to probably wait for that breakout before we decide to take a trade here, because Bitcoin is on the edge of disaster or greatness, right? It's one of those two things, and unfortunately, the more time we spend in this current range, the more likely we are to see a volatile breakout. So hard to anticipate that when the price jumps up and drops, instantly by 5% in, a 24-hour period. It's pretty nonsensical, but unfortunately that's what happened here. Price shoots up, Bitcoin looks good for a second, Bitcoin pulls back, ICP pulls back. All right, so we can go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit here. what does our point of control look like here in the last, what is it? This is ever since August 4th. So we got about 2 weeks worth of trading, maybe 3 roughly. We can see our point of control is about $7.30. So as long as we remain below that, we can presume that's the resistance level for us, okay? We can also respect here the fact that we are at 50 in the RSI. Generally, this is a level that holds as a support. So this is a good sign letting us know that we're holding this level and we might be able to bounce from here. Again, it all hinges on Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulls back further, ICP will also. We've seen that and identified that. But with stochastic pulling back here, and we look at the 4-hour time frame, we got our MACD is trying to diverge. A lot of coins are doing this right now. It would make sense for the price to continue to pull back. Okay, these are just indicators kind of momentously letting us know we're pulling back. While 50 in the RSI is nice, being under that point of control is not. And we're also just kind of averaging ourselves out with every single moving average. Like they're all just literally hanging out in this one spot. So that doesn't give me a lot of confidence. We want to be soundly above those, like a 720 or 730 or higher. So those are things that I'm going to be looking for before I consider taking a trade. If we take a look at the hourly, we can recognize we're above the cloud, which is good. Upper and lower lead are hanging out right here at this short time frame point of control. So again, last 3 trading days, we can see we're right there at the average price where everybody's buying ICP. 720 is just like the price everybody wants in at. But we see here, we got lagging span is free and clear, but tentatively free and clear. It's close to the price action. And we can also see that the conversion line is above the baseline. These are 3 out of 3 reasons to keep your long position open. But also to treat it with respect, adjust your stop loss higher so you can secure profits. But more importantly, recognize this window of opportunity may be closing soon and that you might want to shift gears and consider a short position. Just know 680 is a very, very strong support range. And the likelihood of breaking through that the first time is pretty low, pending Bitcoin doesn't do anything super crazy and to make a run towards 55K or lower. All right. So as long as Bitcoin behaves itself, I do think that we are more likely to see ICP continue to prevail, push towards those upper ranges. But you got to recognize, though, folks, that can all change in a heartbeat. And as soon as Bitcoin decides to have a bad day, ICP is going to have a worse day. Because you see this little correction here. Well, it's not substantial. It's like a 5% correction from Bitcoin. Roughly the same here for ICP. It's still very relevant. Okay, so just be mindful of that. All right, I'll post our playout chart here in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here soon. If you're not familiar, it looks a little something like this. I just give you kind of insight on what I'm expecting coins to do, and feel free to check that out. If you are part of our Discord group, I do recommend you read through our trade alerts. This is a newer feature for our community, just kind of getting you insight on coins I'm planning to take trades with. And obviously, quick congrats to our community members here for some nice solid profits on what was it, SUI short. We maxed that out, and we had a Bitcoin short as well from 60 down to 56. So good little trades here recently, but again, not a lot of trades. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. There's no other way around it. This just isn't the optimal trading conditions to just be opening 5, 10 trades at a time. You focus on 1 or 2 maybe, and that's it, and you wait for the better opportunities. Opportunities come and go quickly in this market. But the good ones, you'll see them when they occur. It just feels much better to take a trade with confirmation, and we're waiting for that right now. We're in a transition, so try not to get super excited and just buy every single dip or short every single top. While it can work in range-bound activity, it'll eventually bite you in the butt because you'll have some successful trades and you'll expect that this is just how it works every time, and it really doesn't. So either way, I appreciate you. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Appreciate your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.